Help with judgments. Here's the situation. You owe some creditor a bill. You want to pay, but you just can't. There simply isn't enough money in your budget to pay your living expenses and all the rest of your bills on top of it. So you pay your living expenses and let the other bills go. That's how it begins. Later, the creditor starts to call you, write nasty letters trying to collect the money, but you still don't have the money. You try to explain to the creditor that you simply don't have it. You try to work with the creditor and ask for some kind of a payment plan that you can afford. The creditor refuses to work with you at all. They want all the money and they want it now. You still don't have it, so you still can't pay. It's just impossible. Eventually, the creditor will turn the debt over to a lawyer who will file a lawsuit and get a judgment. What does that mean to you? A judgment is simply a court determination that you owe the money, and the creditor is now free to use the court system to collect from you. If you own real estate, the judgment can be filed against your house. If you have a job, the judgment can be used to garnish your wages. If you have a bank account, the judgment can be used to wipe out the bank account. Like a credit card debt, judgments carry interest. That means they get larger and larger as time passes. Frequently, we see judgments start out small, but because of the interest on them, they get larger and larger and eventually grow to several times the original debt amount. If that judgment is recorded against your real estate, you can't sell the real estate without paying off the judgment. Judgments also show up on your credit report. When a judgment's on your credit report, other creditors sometimes use this as a reason to lower your credit limit. This is happening more and more frequently with the tightening of the credit laws. Some people think that once a judgment's been filed against them, there's nothing they can do to get rid of it except to pay it. But this isn't true. Bankruptcy can wipe out judgments. In fact, most judgments will be wiped out by bankruptcy. It doesn't matter how old the judgment is, and sometimes it doesn't matter if the judgment's been recorded against your real estate. In many cases, we can remove the judgment from real estate. That, however, depends on many factors that would have to be discussed in detail with one of our attorneys. Many people don't understand how dangerous judgments are. Sometimes a creditor gets a judgment but doesn't do anything with it right away. This will cause a false sense of security. Today, these judgments are sold to debt buyers, and while the original creditor may not try to collect, the new creditor might. Then, with all the interest that may have collected, you can end up with an aggressive creditor who now owns the judgment and will collect it. So, a judgment that seemed to be no problem at all can turn into a nightmare. Suddenly, your bank account's wiped out and your wages are being garnished all at the same time. If you have judgments, you need to know what your options are to deal with them. Part of our free, in-depth consultation includes a review of all of your financial circumstances, including any judgments that you may have, to make sure that you know what dangers you face and what options you have to take care of these matters.